So it's time to jump in and get going here. So, welcome to the Big Jam, and welcome to the last one in October. We're off into November. Good to see you all. We're getting ready as we move towards I don't know, the holiday mania and season and so on like that. But it's so great to see you all. And let me just change something here so I can see you all. Okay, and Josh, let him in. Zahir, Johor. Uh,
Allison is here.
okay, all right. Max Miller, if you will just continue allowing people to come in.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's it, because I've got you set up so you can do that.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, so welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going in the kind of the final lap of TribeUp and the TribeUp conversation with Brett. And big news today because while we're going to be completing uh, part of the conversation, which I think has had uh, it looks like it's registered a good impact on people. It's been very useful. And then the second is Brett is going to be rolling out his app for us and making it available to us. And while we're scheduled that this is the last time that Brett's going to be doing it, I am open to if we need more, then we'll have him also back next week. Also, you should know that I'm a little bit goofy and crazy right now because I'm in the middle of a move, and the house that I was moving in, we're not going to be going to, so we have to find another house
Oh
to move
no.
to.
Oh.
So, and we're covered. We have being John, I've got a backup for almost everything. So we are going to go somewhere else, but it is a big, all of a sudden pivot and abrupt left turn. Anyway, that being said, welcome, welcome, welcome. Love seeing you here for what I consider in my life to be the essentially the senior conversation of the week. And I want to turn it over to you, Brett.
Wonderful. Thank you, John and
You're most
Max.
welcome.
And thank all of you. It's good to see everyone. Good morning. So I'd love to, as we have been doing, I'd love to start with the lightning round and just quickly go through. And some of you have been emailing and we've been dialoguing different issues or thoughts around what we've covered so far. And that's been a lot of fun. And I want to invite anyone to be able to do that, brett@tribeup.com. Feel free to email if you have any questions or want to have an offline conversation about anything. But yeah, I'd like to just kind of do a quick check-in and see where you're at. And don't be afraid if you're struggling with something. I'm not going to try and convince you otherwise. But if I can add any insight to something you might be wrestling with, I would love to be able to do that. So if that sounds okay, why don't we start with Ross?
Hey Brett, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Um, I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna share something that I shared with my son last night. My son goes to ASU and he is a freshman. So I shared with him, and Brett, you totally came up in my mind with Tribe Up, the framework. And I didn't explain to him the framework. I explained to him in terms that um, I think expedited the conversation. But basically, I said, hey, Matt, you're going to have different levels of interactions with people. And some of them are going to be surface level, some of them are going to be deeper, and you're going to want to hang out with people more. And then some people you're going to be really vulnerable with. So I need you just to recognize that and to be aware of that. So, Brett, thank you. Thank you so much because it gave me a great opportunity to to connect with Matt, but also give him something that would be useful for him as he figures out how to find his people at ASU. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Means a lot to me. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thanks, Ross.
Um, I want to pick Allison.
Morning. I'm glad you picked or called on me because I wasn't really sure what I was going to share. There's always a lot that we talk about, but Ben and I were talking about something that we haven't discussed on this call, so I didn't want to share it here. But I love what you shared, Ross, about an opportunity to share that with your son. I have a past of working with young people, and for a long time since Brett shared this with me, I'm like, how do we get it into the young people's hands? Because I just think about if I would have been privileged with this information in my 20s, how that would have changed the trajectory of my life. So it's definitely a tool for sharing, and that made me really happy to hear you share that, Ross. Thanks for calling on me right after, because I wanted to say that. So, okay, I think I'm just going to keep it short and sweet and call on the next person here. Let's see. Josh.
Okay, unmuted. Thanks, Allison. I I think what's coming up for me is I've been a lifelong people pleaser, uh, making more time for others than myself, and I'm still not doing it right, as Kim kind of caught me earlier today. Um, but I will tell you this, it's given me the permission to make a major, maybe the biggest change in my how I work in the last 10 years. Uh, Kim's nodding, so she agrees. Uh, I think my team feels it as well. I'm making time for myself. I'm saying no to a lot of people. I'm not showing up for a lot of meetings. I Go ahead. No, no problem. Uh, I'm not showing up for a lot of meetings, and I I'm also going to France uh in 2 weeks and completely cutting off and sort of saying no from everyone. So I know that doesn't follow. I mean, for me, this is probably the biggest change I've ever had in my working life. So, and who am I spending that time in France with? My inner circle,
Beautiful.
my partner. I'm gonna let's go to Ben.
Hey, thanks, Josh. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
This week I've been intently reflecting on the language John gave us last week with the process of craft toward an art form or toward your goal of art. And I'm not all the way figured anything out yet. I've been thinking about it daily. And I think it's probably going to be a persistent thought, as John's are, for quite some time until it ruminates and ferments and tastes like something. So it's a fun one to turn over in my head. I like stuff that's not exactly it's straightforward in its concept to try to understand it, but its understanding actually is a lot deeper. Sakina, I'll call on you next.
Thanks, Ben. So for me, what's coming up is just, as we've been navigating through this framework, I had dinner with a really good friend of mine yesterday. And I think when you spend time with the right people, your energies are like so aligned. So I mean, I feel completely like recharged and grounded. And I think we should kind of use the energy exchange or energy as a guide more in our lives than we do. So that's kind of what's coming up. And I'm also really excited for you guys to see the TribeUp app today and get your thoughts on that. So I'll keep it short and sweet. That's it. I will call on Max Paul.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I got a shower yesterday, and that was pretty exciting. Still not drinkable water, but it was wet and got a shave out of it so I could be presentable today. So anyway, this has been a time to celebrate my inner circle, that inner group, to just tell them what we're up to here on Wednesday mornings on the Big Jam, and to just let them know how amazing they are in my life.
Mhm.
That they make every day special. They make it that there just aren't bad days here. And there are bad days. We've had a month. There's a person in our house right now reinstalling a toilet, putting all the things back together. Except that this inner circle, what and I'm just learning a whole bunch from everybody, John and Brett, all of you, that's what gives the flavor of life. That means that no matter what is going on in the surroundings, magical things are happening because I'm not doing life alone. I'm not doing it just by myself. I'm doing it with a team of people that are there 24/7 all of the time. And it's very exciting to me.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to call on Tia.
Good morning. I've been kind of in the inquiry of what it looks like to really cultivate and invest in myself and others. And I don't know, I would just want to say I'm more of on a heightened level of like just being responsible for that. How much time I devote to the people I want in my life. And I've always been somebody who's good about being alone for the right reasons than be with somebody for the wrong. But I find that, as you go through life, you just sort of take what's there and, and kind of go unconscious here and there. And sometimes it takes something to realize that that's where you are. And I don't know, I've been just a little bit more cultivated in how I'm doing things. And also really being aware of the impact that it has in my quality of life. So I think it's more of like a quality of life thing for me right now.
Great.
Kim.
Thanks, Tia. I am definitely in process on this. Like Josh, I am very well aware that this is one of the few big changes I can make to like level up. I know that I'm making great progress on the choosing part. I reached out to several people this week that I'm like, I want them in my life. I already have a connection. We've been close before, or I know we can be. And so I've just sort of like put a big toe in that to kind of see. And everybody was like, we're in, I'm in. Yes, let's talk. Let's do this. And so that felt good. I'm still struggling with the unchoosing. Just to be honest. So I suspect until I get that right, I'm just going to be gathering more. And, like pregnancy at some point, that's bound to break. So I'm not sure how I'm going to figure that part out yet, but the unchoosing, if anyone has brilliance to share in the next hour, I will be listening to that part.
One thing I would like to say about that, Kim, is unchoosing doesn't mean liking or loving someone less. It just means investing less. For me,
okay.
It doesn't have to for you, but if that helps, that's how I see it.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, I'd add to that for the most part, people unchoose themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really have to work at it too hard.
Interesting. Whew, okay. Awesome. David.
Here I am.
Here I am.
One of the things that I noticed was I spent this hour and a half with the bus driver. And the hour and a half with the bus driver, I shared my family. So I think that that was me bringing in this person into the inner circle for that time. It was sharing family interactions, well, mostly interactions with Celeste. And there's a lot to talk about with her. And that was an insight into how my family works that I shared with her. The week before, she shared about her family. And so I think that the movement, Brett talks about spending time. So the movement, there's intentionality in there. So there's some interaction when I'm not seeing her. But then to pull people into your inner circle for investing time with them. And then they can move away and into another area of your life. But moving people back and forth, I think that's one of the things that is the art of tribe. I think that's one of the things about it, because you get good at sharing time with people, and you may run into someone that's a ping, but you're going to spend 15 minutes with them connecting just for that 15 minutes and then going away. But it's okay. That's how this works. That's for me.
Great, David. One thing I will throw in there is also add mostly observing people back and forth or into different circles. We're hardly moving them. We're mostly observing them. So the only time I really move someone is in the intention circle. And then the rest is observation. It's naturally unfolding, and I'm observing it into the next circle. So,
Okay.
not right or wrong. I'm just
No, it's
sharing where I'm coming from.
well, it's verbiage. So when you speak about that, it becomes
David,
clearer. Yeah, I know. Thank you very much, Brett.
Yeah, you bet. Rock and roll, my man.
call on someone, please.
Yes, I'm going to call on, well, Ardis.
David, glad to hear more about your conversation with your bus driver.
I know. I want the story.
Yes. Um, I'm noticing actually, we just kicked off our production team retreat yesterday, so we're meeting for at least 3 to 4 hours. Um, Yesterday and today, and then next week as well. And I'm sitting back watching my team interact, and we did an exercise of a vision of how we see October 4th, 2025. And it was amazing because there was a lot of overlap. And for those who don't know, we're doing a global peace initiative and at least two commercial concerts and at least 96 countries doing community concerts. So it's a pretty big initiative. And on the way to the meeting, as I'm getting text or in other meetings with the executive team of people telling me how much they love my team and how perfect they are for the roles that they're in. And these are three guys that two of them I've known for almost probably over 20 years, been friends with, and one of them over the last 2 years. And it's kind of cool. It's really, really fun to watch. And I'm getting texts even in my retreat going, oh my God, I spent 2 hours with so and so. you and your friends are amazing, and it's such good energy. And I'm seeing like they're in my inner circle because I'm now interacting with them every day,
Awesome.
and I can't see myself not doing this. Like I can see ourselves pulling this off because I've brought these guys in. So
That's great.
thank you. I pick Peter.
Keying off a little bit on Kim's unchoosing and John's comment that they'll choose themselves. One thing I see is that if I bring the real me to the conversation with the folks who maybe are candidates for unchoosing, that's not an interesting conversation for them, and they do unchoose themselves. And so all this kind of comes from there are people I spend a lot of time with, and because of the time, they're kind of de facto inner circle. So if I elevate the conversation that I'm having, and as Brett pointed to, the quality of that interaction, they either come with me and join in an inner circle, or they're repelled by it because um, some of these folks want to sit around and drink too much alcohol and complain about politics. And if I'm not having that conversation, it's not fun for them, and they unchoose themselves, right?
Yep.
And so really being present to the higher level conversation and being who I am is creating the gaps with the people where the gaps need to be created. And it's easier, Kim.
Bravo.
Like muscle fibers tearing, right?
They don't want to be in that conversation that I consider to be the inner circle conversation. That's not a fun conversation for them. And so it makes it easy.
Beautiful.
Let's see. Jar.
Thanks, Peter. I think that's what the point you brought is very, very important, I think, to choosing and unchoosing people, because I've been thinking since last few weeks, like what Brett says, like time, money, and energy. And I can see I can, give time, I can give money, but energy is I'm trying to figure it out who I should give that energy when I can. So when I go to sleep, I get, gain my energy back in the morning. But then where I should spend that energy, because that's, I think, to me is right more important than money and even time. Because if I'm spending my energy on the wrong places and wrong people and wrong things, then I'm wasting time and I'm wasting my money at the same time. So that's what I got.
Great.
So, Christian?
Hi there. Thank you. What's coming up for me is I've noticed through this inquiry that deeper kind of levels of basically my personality are really showing itself to me. And so, I used to, as far as like networking and pings and so forth, in the past, a lot of pings would be incoming versus me generating them. And I used to, what I've noticed is I used to blame it or attach it to the fact that maybe I'm a bit of an introvert. But what's come up is that that's an old word that does not serve me anymore. And I used to blame being introverted for a lot of things. And if I want to live a creative life, throw that word away and start generating some pings. Now, when I start generating some pings, what I've noticed coming up is not being attached to an outcome. So if I'm pinging someone, I noticed that I have been on a couple of occasions attached, like I really want it to go a certain way. I want to get them into intention and relationship, all that kind of thing. And it just doesn't land for them. And other times when I'm not expecting it, it does. So the attachment is really what I'm exploring, just not being attached. And, I heard this phrase like, what's meant for you will almost effortlessly flow into your life. And so I kind of have that in the background, like while I'm pinging, If it's meant to be, it will. And if it's not, then you move on to the next ping and don't be attached. So that's what's been coming up for me.
Absolutely beautiful. That makes my heart so happy.
Thank you, Brett. I'm going to, I want to hear from Sally.
Thanks, Christian. Wow. Well, I've been so cut off, and I was sorry that my internet went out again in the middle of last session, but I'm in the middle of trying to watch the videos and catch up on this. It's so pertinent for me right now, because, you know, like you, Josh, and others, I've really put so much of myself and my life into my work for so long. And I am trying to redesign that because I simply need more personal time and care. And the universe is like pulling me in that direction to actually put more focus on my personal life. And but right now I'm trying to keep the lights on while we get to the bigger pot of gold to keep our organization going. And I am pinging people that I hadn't spoken with in a while, and supporters, that we hadn't been connected with too much lately. So that's kind of what I'm in the process of doing, and feeling positive about it, but I'm sort of in some angst right now about relationships. So anyway, I'm just glad to be here and glad to see all of you. I missed you. How about Max? What's happening? Or did you go?
Thank you, Sally. And Brett, thank you for the reminder about the distinction that we're not really looking at the, how much we love somebody or our affinity for them. We're looking at the time we're investing. And that's just, I need to be reminded and remind myself of that constantly, because that is the kind of the core of the functionality of this. And there have been all kinds of insights, but the one thing I want to share is that there's sort of an analogy I can give. When I came out at 40, I had been so sort of suppressed about my sexuality that I took a year just to figure out and unconceal what my affinities really were. I realized that I was just effed up in my head about, who I'm attracted to, what I'm attracted, all of that. And I just gave myself the freedom to, explore. And although all the 5 levels and the 7 eyes and all of it's fascinating, I'm kind of on the first piece of it of discovery. I'm like, that's enough for me to dwell in for, probably a year, really. And it's so relevant. Just discovering who are my people, who are the people specifically for what I'm up to, for the life I'm designing.
Mm-hmm.
Who are those people who are going to be a part of that? So I'm just at the discovery level and dwelling there and kind of loving it.
Block
So,
and tackle, as John would say. I love that, Max.
thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Lydia, let's hear from you.
I'm experiencing that delight of discovery, Max, in having some new conversations with new people that immediately get intimate and connected. And what I found this week that was so different for me was I was aware that they were using the language So there's been a kind of loneliness at times, or a feeling like I am trying to create from, within me, and to have it come back to me through someone else's language of the same things that matter to them and how they're here to create that on the planet at this time, and what pulls them. The shared language was just falling into a native tongue. And that felt the opposite of lonely. It just felt, oh, my tribe, my people, this is how we do things. This is how we collaborate. This is how we speak to each other. This is how we work things out. So there's that delight of discovery, and then also a kind of wake up call with the sense of this is actually the rest of my life.
Mm.
So I've seen it as a means to an end. Well, I've got to, I'm tribing up so that I can get these projects done. And then I got, oh no, this week it became really clear. This is the practice, as kind of centrally important practice for everything about life through the end of life. Because there's tribing up at the very end. Who do you want to die with? And everything along the way. I'm really inspired by what Ross shared about engaging his family, because this is a senior seminar, and John talks about it in that way. And I've missed, oh, this is a conversation to have with my 9-year-old granddaughter. My grandson's a freshman at ASU in the film department. We can have this TribeUp conversation. I'm excited now to not see it in such a senior way, even though it's challenging and hard to do at times to engage in this. And I hope we get to do it a long time and that we revisit it, Brett. But thank you for just setting up something that will be in my DNA for the rest of my life. And I hope we come back to it after, once we go through the next round of whatever we're working on together. I hope we get to do storytelling and tribing up again.
Awesome.
Kind of in an endless loop.
Awesome.
Let's see. Has our whole family gone? Oh, Constantine joined us. Constantine.
Hello, everyone. Sorry for turning up late. Piecing together what this is about. It's very topical, tribing up, choosing and unchoosing. So I wonder, like, within your tribe, is there an opportunity within individuals in the tribe to choose and not and unchoose? Like, there's certain topics you should unchoose. There's a possibility, and I've seen this happen, where I should unchoose certain topics with a tribe, and that might be wise. And there are some topics that you can go deeper within the tribe. So choosing that.
That's a great point.
Because otherwise, we're not being sensitive to what is what can be consumed.
Mm-hmm.
There are aspects that I can choose within an individual, but there are certain things that I should unchoose to discuss, without at the risk of sounding righteous. But I mean, you can kind of put it to the test and sort of test, right, to see, oh, this one's a touchy subject.
Mm-hmm.
So unchoose that.
Yeah. Being able to bridle your tongue when the words aren't really landing. Yeah.
Yeah, and catching that. But yeah, who do you want to die with? That's really beautiful.
That is a beautiful one.
Yeah. And we've been in Panama for 3 weeks, so ran a little retreat there and definitely found new people to want to die with. There, it was really beautiful. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And it continues to grow. It's really amazing how many of us there are, people who want to open up and connect through the, coherence through the collected heart. Yeah, it's really gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Has anyone not gone?
John.
John.
Yes, well, all good. And here in Mexico, one of the biggest holidays is November 1st, which is Day of the Dead. so you can't get anything done. And so never let a crisis go to waste, because my sister and I are moving this weekend, and we've been planning to move, and we have the guy who is our, the prospective landlord was actually in the intention circle. And we've been trying to work with this guy for over a month, and he has not been keeping his word, and he's been very kind of cavalier with us. And so we have to move, and it's on November the 1st, and getting people to help you to move is a big deal. So, all of that is coming up. And last evening, my sister and I, we just finally got to the point where we're at the end of the deal, and we decided that we would, with nothing really kind of around it, except we're not going to do it. We're not going to move. We're not going to move into the house that he's got for us. We're not going to be living in the conditions that the guy is setting up for us. Okay. So every breakdown, and that's a breakdown, precedes a breakthrough, is the principle. And so we make that decision, and the decision is very curt, and it's very clean, and it's very keep the keys, we're not doing the deal. And now what? And my sister literally picked up the phone to share with her girlfriend, who has a beautiful home here in right here in the village in Ahihik, that she uses and then she doesn't use, but it's big, and it consists of two full-size houses and a casita and a pool, and it's right on the lake, and it's gorgeous. And she shares with her girlfriend, and her girlfriend says, "Oh, well, I'm not going to be there in November, December. Why don't you guys just stay there?" And all of a sudden, we're not having to spend a lot of money, and voila, breakdown, breakthrough. We've got a place that we can go to and kind of settle in, and then look for where it is we're actually going to be moving to. So all of the above about what you were saying, including what you were saying, Con, about, how do you relate to it on the individual level? Practical application. And the guy unchose himself.
Mm-hmm.
He really literally unchose himself. We tried to work with him, and we were bending over to it. And, finally, we just got to a place where we're working way too hard at this deal.
Yeah.
So no partnership at all. So declare the, end of the deal, and now we'll find out what happens next. So that's me.
Can I add something just to that? I find as we're talking here, is I find an opening to abundance.
You have a picture of how they were.
Yeah.
Like there's, oh yeah, well, we try the best we can. It's not operating out of scarcity.
I have a picture of how they're supposed to go.
But David, you're not muted.
Oh.
Okay, guys, let's throw it back to Brett. Brett, thank you very much. It was a kind of an extended but great shares all the way through. And so, Brett, back to TribeUp.
Great. Thanks, John, for sharing that. And Constantine, I believe you're absolutely right. That was a great story of unchoosing something and what opened up as something better. So I love that as a tribal story. I believe we left off, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have 2 more E's to cover. Is that right, Allison? And then I think we wrap up that portion and we're complete. Or did we do that last week?
I don't think we got to the last 2.
Okay, let's just do those 2 briefly, and then we'll move on to a demo. This is great. Yeah, thank you. What's that?
I said woohoo for the demo.
Woohoo, yes, I'm excited. So this is great. So in the discovery, someone was talking about, well, many of you were talking about discovery, and Max, I think Christian, Lydia, there were some really great things that came up from everybody. And in ping, and again, just a reminder that although ping is the outer circle, once you've established a behavior in one of the outer circles, it continues through all of the concentric circles inward. And so you're still pinging even in the inner circle. You might be every touch is a sonar. Every touch is a ping. Peter's pinging when he's having these conversations that people are opting out of because they're uncomfortable. These are sonar. It's a signal going out and something coming back. And what Peter's identifying, he's assessing, is that they are opting out of the real conversation that he's in. And I think that's brilliant. So as we talk about expansion, which came up many times, we're talking about meeting new people or re-engaging people. Kim is re-engaging people. That's a ping, right? And new great things are coming up. So there's expansion happening because there was a void there before. There was no interaction. Now there's expansion. So Allison, if you can go back to we'll just review the first three really quick. If you can go back to 1, there we go. So just to recap, once we choose a person, place, or thing important, then we need to elevate for priority. So we have multiple choices on our plate that we've made, probably dispersed among people, places, and things. And then you have time, money, and energy that you're stewarding. And then you're choosing to invest. And you're investing for return on life. This isn't about extracting. Investing is not about extracting. Investing is about return. There's a big difference. Extraction doesn't require investment. It requires taking. I do not even like the language of give and take. In my world, take doesn't exist. Just give and receive, right? Sow and reap, invest and return. So this helps me frame my operating system. So when I'm choosing for importance and I have multiple things on my plate, then I'm choosing what I need to elevate into priority. And then if you go to E2, once I've made that choice, I'm beginning to allocate 15-minute units of time or blocks of 15. It might be 4 blocks of 15 minutes put together in an hour. Now, this is obviously very granular. Do I really operate this way? It's an overlay. It's a framework. I am not like, okay, the clock just turned and now I'm moving on. The reason I operate inside of a 15-minute unit of time, for example, when Max Paul was asking about how I spent the 3 days with my daughter. Well, with the 15-minute unit reminder, for 15 minutes, I would be the best I could be in the moment for her and for us. The highest and best I can be in the moment, which means there were some times where maybe she would tell a story and then I might hijack it and start telling my story. And we're playing values ping pong, as John would call it. But in my conscious reminder of the 15 minutes, I'm like, no, listen more, inquire, ask questions, and I would go right back. So I'm with my daughter on a 3-day vacation, and this is what I'm doing with this framework is it's forcing me into conscious presence with her or whatever we're doing. If we were listening to music, to listen deeper to the music. And there might be a moment where she's to my side and she's in the moment with the music and I'm in the moment with the music. It really is just about being where you are because that's the only place you can be well. And so being efficient with this 15-minute unit of time and understanding what that means to me. I can't define it for you, but you can. And then E3 is effective. And here's where leadership starts to emerge and that all of this is for a purpose. And there's this push and pull kind of. I feel it's a really good, healthy push and pull. And is this framework a means to an end? And the answer is yes. Or is the means the actual end? And the answer is yes, right? It's both. It's yes, you are designing a life and this framework is helping you with an overlay that will help you architect and build and manage and lead and construct design. But don't forget that that life is actually right now, that this is the best opportunity to live your best life now. The sum of life is just adding up these 15-minute units of time. I see so many of us, and I've been thinking about this the last 2 to 3 days really intently, that when you're very destination focused, which I am to a degree, I certainly have highest aims in mind. A book I want to finish, a gallery I want to take to a certain level, a tech company that I have a vision for. I have an idea of what I want my life to look like in 3 years: travel, write, food, friends, study. I mean, it's pretty clear to me. Those are destination type things, but they are achieved in this 15-minute moment. They are not achieved out there. It's the adding up of each of these moments. And that is what I believe this framework brings to me. Okay. E4 is expansion. And we are expanded through, and I heard it many times in the call, we're expanded through meeting new people or re-engaging new people, exploring and experiencing new things, and traveling to new places. And it brings me back to what life is to me, which of course is arguable and debatable, and we could come up with so many deep definitions of what life is. But what I've really reduced it down to for simplicity and manageability is that life is interaction with people, places, and things, period, inside of a 15-minute unit of time. Now, is it actually inside of a smaller unit? Yes, but I'm not that good. I'm working on it, but right now I would say that I'm in the practice of a 15-minute unit. And in that, I'm expanding. So it's expanding through meeting new people or re-engaging people, and even expanding. When John unchose this house, something expanded. New opportunities came up. Better opportunities came up. Having the courage to unchoose something. That space emptied and it filled with something better. That's expansion to me. And expansion should ultimately lead to enrichment. So if you can go to E5, what is it all for? What is this practice for? And you've mentioned it about your inner circle, Max Paul, with deep, genuine emotion, grateful for his inner circle, grateful for these people. This is enrichment. The things that we're bringing most intimately toward us tend to be the most enriching, although a conversation completely outside of your tribe can be just as enriching. This is not hard, fast, these are the facts. This is just an overlay. It's somewhat subjective, but they're still there. And what I love that I'm hearing from all of you is that you're just actually noticing that this conversation is coming back to you because it's not something new. It's not created. It's just observed and documented. And so you're going to see it everywhere. I've had conversations in a ping, in the macro, outside of my tribe that have changed my life forever. And those are off John. John King was an introduction from Wayne Clancy, a ping outside of my tribe that has become one of my dearest inner circle friendships, mentorship, relationship, partnership, colleague. I mean, he fills almost all 10 of the people categories for me and in the deepest, most intimate circle. So we don't have to feel like we're cutting ourselves off. All this framework is really meant to do is show us how to live more consciously inside of a 15-minute unit of time and where to steward the space inside of that time and the money and the energy, and how we wisely invest in the right people, places, and things. And I would say that that is probably a wrap on the framework. So, Allison, I think you can go ahead and shut that down there. You're all very sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we'll get an opportunity, and again, if anyone wants to dialogue or get clarity or have questions, comments, observations, nothing is off the table. I'm a very open book, and I'm certainly no longer, I remember a time where I was very interested in convincing you that this was all right. I'm no longer interested in convincing you it is all right. John helped me through that. He's helping me overcome being special and to access extraordinary. And I see that as a process. I wish it was a switch for me, but it's been a process, and I'm happy to dance with you on any of the topics in any environment. So just feel free to reach out. Peter, would you mind allowing my phone to share? And I will go ahead and bring up this demo. So a little background on the TribeUp app. We have quite a bit of the team, on the call here. So I want to just give credit and love and gratitude to Joe Herr and Ben and Allison and Sakina and John and all of you, quite frankly, because you're all very important. But Joe Herr and I have been deeply entrenched in the development of this app. Ben and Allison and John and I have been in this framework for a couple years. Someone asked for training on it, and so we launched a call, and we enjoyed just kind of diving through that. And then Sakina is recently joining us as a product go-to-market director, and she's going to be working specifically on go-to-market strategy and product management, which we desperately need at this point. But we've launched what's called an MVP, minimal viable product. And it's live on app stores. You don't go to the app store yet if you haven't already, because I'm going to let you just get the app right from me on this call. We're testing. We're working through, user interface and user experience issues. But basically what you're going to see today is the main functionality of a minimal product with much more to come. And this product is going to allow you to take the framework that you just were introduced to and begin to manage your entire tribe through an application. So let's give it a whirl. Let me see.
Is it working? Are you able to share?
Navigating my phone. Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Our broadcast. Okay.
There it is.
Hello. All right. Let me move. Let's see if I can move this guy over. Perfect. Everyone can see it?
Yes.
All right. So this is the dashboard. It's a home screen. We are going to be, this whole thing is getting remodeled. It will have analytics. There's a component we're going to build, which is a life manager. So tasks, appointments, you will have a fully integrated calendar independent from all of your other third-party apps. I want to tell you that one of the big goals that we have that we're looking to achieve with this app is complete autonomy and to to create anonymity, I guess would be the word, away from your mobile number and any email address. Now, if you can imagine why that is, those environments are so heavily infiltrated and you're at incredible risk. And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, but you're at incredible risk constantly in all of those environments. Your information is all over the dark web. You're getting spammed, attacked, defrauded, infiltrated, inundated on every channel. And we've gotten so numb to it. It's almost become like financial fraud. It's like, yeah, kind of, it's okay. It's happening to everyone. Well, it's not. It's not okay. We're looking to build an environment where I wouldn't even know your email, nor would I need it. I would be able to communicate to you encrypted without being attached to any email or mobile. If you can imagine what that might look like, being completely in, that means no spam, no solicitation, just you and your tribe in direct communication, and it's just you. Not even a request. A request would not even be facilitated, meaning spam is just a request, gone south, right? So your inbox can't be inundated in TribeUp once we build what we're after here. So anyway, the dashboard has your upcoming touches based on some things I'm going to show you in this next screen. But you can set by priority or by circle. Once you choose someone into a circle, it will actually suggest a default touch, meaning if I put you into the connection circle, it will recommend how often I should touch or reach out to you. And it will give you this upcoming touch. However, you can override that and put a manual touch in for whatever you desire. So anyway, the dashboard is going to be reworked, but this is it for now. The TRM is a tribe relation manager. If you're familiar with CRM, this is TRM, tribe relation manager. And what's really interesting is this is actually the first that we know of. This is the first version in the world of a total life management system. Most CRMs are dedicated to a work environment. And what you're going to learn about TribeUp is even if you have a work card with TribeUp, this will be able to connect to the work CRM, but they will not have access to the rest of your tribe, but you will have access and they will have access to your work tribe. So that would be a long explanation I won't get into, but inside of this TRM, there's some interesting things I can do. Sakina and I just tribed up yesterday. Again, we were doing some testing. And so I can open up her contact. And as you can see with the buttons on the top, I can manage any form of communication with her, including introduce her to someone. So I can introduce her right here. She has a card built, which is her personal card. And you can build, I think it might be 3 business cards. Okay. And when I'm managing Sakina, I can manage her circle, ping, intention, connection, relationship, inner circle. And like I said, let's say I put her in the intention circle, it just changed the touch frequency to every 2 months. Do you see that on the screen? And then if I open manage touches, I can override that and say, no, I want to talk every week and set the custom touch. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is on my dashboard, it's going to give me a reminder to reach out to her. Now we're in dialogue almost every day, so that's irrelevant. But let's say I want to add some tags because I want to be able to sort and find her, and I want to find her based on a tag I created, which is art or gold buyer. So I have applied these tags and I go back to the TRM and I'm going to search for people that I've tagged with art. So these are all people I've tagged with art. And then let's say I want to message them. This is an incredible feature. I just select it all and I'll send a SMS message and there you go. And I'm sending to a group. So for example, if I created the tag, which I'll do right now, manage tags, I'm going to add a new one and I'm going to create Big Jam. Now, when I onboard all of you into my tribe and I tag you Big Jam, I can easily sort in here by doing a search. I'll just use a different search because I don't have anyone tagged yet with Big Jam, but about kids. There are my kids. Select all and send them all a message. Now, I don't know if you caught this. This will eventually be done internally and not through a third party. But what just happened there is I'm able to do something I can't do. I can't do that on text messaging or email. I can send a group, but I have to create the group. Here, I just searched for a word, any word that I created, and I can create a list or a tribe or a group. That's a really that's a great efficiency is what that really translates to.
Hey, Brett, when
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
do that, does that register a ping on those people?
Like record one as a touch.
Yeah, a touch.
Not through the third party now, but when we build it internally, it will.
Got it.
Yeah. And it will archive the touch for your eyes only. Yeah.
Cool.
Great question.
Another question.
Yeah.
Yours says 102 of 500 tribe members. Mine says 43 of 150. How do I get to being able to have 500?
Do you have 43 in do you have the app already?
Yeah, you turned me onto the link probably 2, 3 months ago, but
Okay.
looks like I'm capped at 150 tribe members.
Gotcha. Okay. Once you go beyond there's a paid subscription after 150. Yeah.
Got it.
And I'm on and have been, but I can't find a way to get connected to you with a search.
I will show you because I'm probably not in your tribe. I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
it, got
the
it.
import is big.
We'll have a couple of us TribeUp
Mhm.
that have the app and everyone can see how easy that is. Okay, so one of the things you do when you're setting up your account is you create your personal card. All right, and you can see that I have 3 cards here. And stop me, those are great questions. So anyone has a question, just jump right in. So I have 3 cards here. I have a personal card, a TribeUp card, and my gallery card. And I can set a default. I can set a default from here. So I just changed my default card to TribeUp. So if I want to share a card, my default will be TribeUp. And if I want to switch it right in this screen, I can switch it. Now I'm sharing Creative Gateways. So what I want to do with you guys, and let's hope we have no idea our server load with requests all at one time, but I'm going to go ahead and gamble. Joe Hirsch probably going to kill me, but I'm going to gamble and have you all, if you do not have the TribeUp app, go ahead and open your phone and just scan this QR code with your camera. Great, Constantine, I see you. So what you can do is you can exchange your details. And once you exchange your details, it's going to take you directly to the App Store to download the app. Now, Lydia, you're already on the app, so I'm going to give you a different prompt right now. Hit the plus button on the bottom and click scan to TribeUp. And then hover that scan over this QR code. And you all should see something happen on my screen here.
Sorry, Brett, did you say to click on exchange contact details?
Yes. When you went to scan, Lydia, did you
I got you.
okay, I wonder if are you in
Yeah,
there?
so it got your contact.
too.
Oh, Lydia, go into the TribeUp app. Exit that and go into the TribeUp app. Yeah, you're all doing good. If you got me and you did not have the TribeUp app, then exchange your details and you're going to be prompted to download the app, which you're welcome to do, but I'm going to show you what it does on my end here shortly. But Lydia, open your TribeUp app, click the plus button on the bottom, which should open a camera, and then scan the QR code on my screen or on the screen.
It's giving me share a card, create a contact, import contacts. Oh, scan to TribeUp. That's it. Okay.
There you go.
It saved you.
I wonder if you have an old version, maybe. Okay, we'll work through that offline. Okay, let's see what's happened. If any of you have exchanged your details, look at what I have in my TRM. And there you are, Lydia. So
Right. Wow,
oh
that's
my
slick.
gosh.
That is so slick.
Oh my gosh. You guys are so good. Look at this. There's Tia, there's Kanthi. So if you recognize what just happened right there, we automated the entire onboarding process into your tribe. So Tia, Kanthi, Christian, Sally, I mean, you're all in there.
Brett, I have a question.
Yeah.
I didn't scan it because you were already in mine,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we've exchanged details.
Okay, so Peter, go to the plus button.
Yep.
And hit scan to TribeUp. It'll open a camera.
It started. Go to plus.
Yeah, so scan to TribeUp.
Got it.
And go ahead and scan my QR code there on the screen.
All right, there it is. Okay. So scanning you in twice, it's smart enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So let's see. Let me see. It should have put me right into your TRM. Yeah, I have you in mind, Peter.
I think we were already there.
And I should be in yours now.
Yeah, you've been in mine all along. I didn't scan it because you were already in mine, but I didn't realize the reciprocity of that process.
Yes. So now I can go in and I can say, Christian, great, you've downloaded the app. See, I can tell Kanthi, Christian, Sally, Annika, Lydia, Ben, Josh, Kim, Ardis, Ross, you've all downloaded the app. That little TribeUp logo means you're on the TribeUp network. That little one to the right bottom of your profile picture. Looks like Christian already has a card created. And if I wanted to introduce Christian, I could do this and send his contact to someone else immediately.
Send it to me. Sorry, Christian, I didn't ask your permission for that.
So I just
Oh, I
did
would
that.
love to be part of your tribe, Max.
Now, I will tell you that functionality, you both should get a notification, but that functionality is really early, and we have a lot to work out on that. But believe me when I tell you that will become a really rich piece of gold of this app, because that's one of the tribal gifts, making introductions, right? So we hold that in high regard. But great job. I mean, you're all, and Joher and team, kudos to you. I was a little nervous to put us all in that activity at one time, but it worked great. So
This is so amazing.
yeah, wonderful.
I was
Quick
I
question.
was just
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And
I
if
was
I
just
update my personal card, does it automatically update on your side, or are you storing an image of my personal card? I know
No, it updates. Peter, this is the beauty. It updates us real time.
got it. So the personal card is actually in the server, not on the local.
Correct. And eventually you'll be able to create permissions, what you want us to see and what you don't want us to see. Okay. And the personal and the cards that you're seeing, they are being incredibly enhanced. I mean, they will beat any profile on social, any digital card you've seen on the market. They're being really, really enhanced. It's one of our top priorities as we move into this next segment of development. Joher, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, if you click on any contact, you can, add information about the person's kids or parents or something to become more, add family members. So
And
you
the
can
bio
remember.
is fun because in the bio you can really share yourself for real.
Right.
That's right.
And also, Brett, if you can show your personal card. So there also you can add your interests, and if you click on it, you can create custom interests. So then we will match them with people. So you will be able to search people through the interests.
In your tribe. You will not be able to search outside of your tribe.
Yeah, just in your tribe.
Correct.
And through the cities, I think also if you can explain those 10 tags you have, the 10 people categories.
Yeah, you can apply. Remember, we learned about the 10 people categories. So you can apply friendship or, for example, I can go into choose Tia and add or manage tags. And then I can put Tia as any one of these, categories. Now, eventually, what the app will do through AI is it will intuitively grab some of the TribeUp philosophy around that tag and be very subtly suggestive as to behavior, right? And some of the things philosophically that we're working on for the future is we want to avoid creating some of the bad habits that are currently in social networking, addiction, scrolling, things like that. When we launch what we're calling Stream, there will be a limit to the scrolling. There will not be, we're carefully architecting as to not create addiction and make it very much focused on healthy relationship with your tribe or relation with your tribe. That's a tricky thing. We're going to bring in psychologists on that. We're going to work really intently on creating what social feeds should be for the future. So anyway, that's something that's in process. Is there
How do
anything?
we, I
Yeah,
have a
go
question.
ahead.
How do we add the people on this group, if they were open to it, in an efficient way to my tribe?
Yeah. So a couple great question, Constantine. One, you can scan each other's QR code once you have the app. So for example, watch this. Now, I'm pretty sure. Oh, open. So for the rest of you, hit the plus button and then scan to TribeUp and scan Constantine's QR code.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now you can delete them if you decide to, Constantine, but
Yeah, I'm gonna delete John.
I unchoose you.
Good choice.
Now,
It's hilarious because I've
Constantine,
lost contact with him on Facebook because someone hacked him. So it's just hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah, don't do Facebook anymore.
Yeah, no.
Now, Constantine, if you look in your notifications, if you go back to your home screen or even your TRM, I'm almost going to bet you have some new people tribed up with you in the all tab.
Alt tab. Alt tab.
Could you show that,
Oh yeah, I got
what do you
10.
call it, that QR code again for me? I didn't get a chance to cue it.
Okay, so that was Constantine's.
Where do I
So
go?
let me go Constantine, cards,
I see that
share.
there's, I'm sorry. I see that there's 10, but I don't see them.
Okay, go to your TRM on the bottom navigation menu and go into the all.
Refresh. I had to pull down your image.
Yep.
And it refreshed. Got it.
Do
So
you
I got
see all your
11 now.
people?
Mhm.
You have 11 people in your tribe in a matter of seconds.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
John,
great.
sorry. Oh, did I miss? Am I not sharing anymore?
No, you're not sharing.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Brett, that scan, did I have to take a second step or something? Because it didn't show up. It scanned, but then it went back
It's
to
not,
my screen.
it's automatically went into your all.
My
Got
all.
So if you go to
Go
TRM
to TRM, it should be there.
and pull down,
okay, got
it'll
it.
refresh.
Thank
I'm
you.
getting us back on track here. I'm not sure how
That's the only, Brett, the only thing that's not intuitive was accidental is if I pull down all my list of all tribe relationships,
Yes.
it does refresh, but it's not like I don't know that to be an
Yep.
option.
Because it didn't work properly for you there, Constantine. It should automatically refresh.
Oh, got it.
But what we'll do is we'll get some feedback on your device and your software version, Android or Apple software.
Yeah.
We'll take a look into that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to open Constantine again for John. Right there. Boom, boom.
So you could share someone else's, which is kind of interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I pressed plus, and now what do I do?
Yeah. Scan to TribeUp.
Where does it say create a card, create a contact, import contacts?
Go down further.
Oops.
Should say scan to TribeUp lower on that list.
It's the fourth one from the top.
Just a moment. Oh, Johnny, you on your call?
Yes.
Okay, they're here and they've got a contract in English.
Well, we're not going to do it. Okay.
Hi,
I got it.
Cece.
So you should be tribed up with Constantine now, John, based on doing
Yeah,
that.
I've got Constantine. Yeah.
Excellent. So for the rest of you that scanned Constantine's QR code, did it put him into your tribe in the all? Okay, great. So now what you can do is you can open each contact and you can start managing. You can set a reminder, you can apply tags, or maybe you have a specific interest with Constantine, so you can apply that tag or create a tag. You can put Constantine into a circle. And this is just a physical representation of what we've done for the last 4 weeks.
Brett, if you can go back to manage contact screen. So here you see overview, cards, like you can see all the cards of a person, and then you can create a task for that. If you want to send him some information or you want to meet again, you can set a date and time through calendar. And then next one is notes. You can also take notes when you're having a meeting with a person, and you can, if you say add notes, it will also allow you to take a picture or something to add, to attach to the note.
Another feature here, they do not have to have the TribeUp app for you to manage them in your TRM. You can import contacts directly from your phone. So for example, I can import Christine Evans. Let me get this off the screen, save. So I just imported from my phone. There's Christine, and I can still manage Christine. The thing is, if she does download the app, then it updates all of her information real time for me, so I'm always staying current. I never have to manage her information.
Brett, question.
Yeah.
How are you doing duplicate detection on that?
Joher, you
Just
can answer. Yeah.
Yeah, the system on the server will check if you same email, same phone number.
So it's checking
then
you.
we just, yes.
Got it. It will get more sophisticated than that because we are building away from email and phone number, but they will still exist, right? Because they exist in the world. You will have a very specific encrypted ID. That is what's going to protect you from the spam and inundation, the unwanted calls and the constant inundation, right? But it will be tethered to all of your other communication tools so that anything in the system will detect and bring you into that ID. But once we shut down those communication tools inside of the app, because we've built the internal one, there will be no spam inside of the app. So that means that you can go into text messaging and you'll still be spam there, third party, but in TribeUp, they won't even know, they won't even have a number to spam, right? They don't even have a communication tool to spam you. So, all right. So one last thing.
So is there a communication tool within the app?
Did you say is there?
Yeah, is there a communication tool within the app that replaces texting, messaging, blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. So our next big build is what we are calling Advanced Autonomous Stream.
And then I'm not dressed yet.
It will be your total communication tool. You will be able to broadcast to your tribe. Of course, they will have to accept, right? You'll be able to do a chat like this, video chat, text messaging, email, every format you currently communicate in will be built into Stream. So we'll start again with a minimal viable product there, and you'll be able to message, but we'll advance it to where you have every form of communication to anyone in your tribe. It won't work outside of the TribeUp app because the second you open up access outside access is open to you, right? So, but anything in your tribe, a post, you'll be able to make a post inside that communication tool, and you'll be able to hyperset permissions to who you want to see it. So we're completely evolving our idea of communication to something very secure, private, and autonomous. But that build, I think, will take, I think that's going to be probably 6 to 9 months before we get a basic product in the app live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Brett, if you can click on any contact. So there on the after invite to tribe, you'll see message, emails, phone, or FaceTime on Apple phones, and then the WhatsApp. So you can communicate with any of these existing communication tools available today. Yeah.
Sure. For example, if I go to Constantine, because you have so much information in here, I can just text you right here.
Okay.
So
You can
right
text
now,
directly from the app.
yeah, right now it's third party integrated. However, in the future, all those buttons will still be mostly the same, but it will be through our internal communication tool.
What about WhatsApp?
Yeah, WhatsApp is right there. The last one is WhatsApp.
So I can WhatsApp you right there.
There's a last one?
Oops. Yeah, it's the last button. Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Can your contact see what preferences you've selected underneath their name? So where it says manage contact circle, if I go in there and assign what I want it to be, does Constantine see what I've selected there?
Not at all.
Yeah.
That's very personal and private.
Okay.
And so no one needs to know. The only exception I've ever really given weight to on that, Christian, is I might tell the people that are in my inner circle.
Got it. Okay.
You know, they have some idea. Everyone else doesn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
It's great, Brett. You know, you and I have had a conversation maybe three or 4 years ago with John around this idea. So it's really good to see it coming to fruition, even as a MVP. I was going to ask a question that may be triggering for some, but what about gamifying being a good triber?
Sakina, do you want to jump in and speak to that?
Yeah, so we are looking into, how we can incorporate gamification for engagement into the next version of the app. But, since we're here and you guys have had a chance to look at it, I would love to hear like your thoughts on, after Brett went through the whole philosophy, like what features do you think would really resonate with you in the app? I think the gamification suggestion is a great one, so would love to hear more shares about that.
Yeah. We have 2 minutes, so if we can't get them in now, feel free to email. You can email me, Brett@TribeUp.com, and now you can email me from the TribeUp app. So that's really easy, actually. So if you want to email me, just pull up my name, just like Christian here, and then just click the email button, and
Beautiful.
You're emailing Christian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this group is probably unique because we all love each other and we've got a heart connection already, and we're all disciples of John. But how do you compensate for not just engagement but contributors? And not that people do this to get compensated, but it just helps with adoption. I'm always interested in game mechanics in terms of creating, because like all the big unicorns are basically hacking our attention and engagement. So how do we use what they've learned and what we can learn to drive deeper tribes through gamification? I guess that's the question.
And I'd like to jump off on that deeper tribe conversation. A lot of things are so ordinary that are out there in terms of the word choices and the assumptions about why someone would connect. Dating apps, everything is so ordinary that the elevated conversation is really missing a lot about who cares about transformation, what are we out to cause, who's creating what. It's very low level. And so my expectation is that Tribing Up is going to have more of that elevated view of what's possible for humanity, not just transactional, low level, ordinary.
Yeah, Brad, if you can go a little down below this circle. So there are some write-ups. You can go to our Learning Hub and Brad will be keep putting more and more their videos and stuff too. And then maybe this is, I think, take us to a conversation page, and then people can have conversation there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think also what would speak to both Constantine and Lydia, there are two big components that we want to build carefully. One is kind of a tribe score that will help you better understand how you're engaging your world. And whether that's public or private is, we're not sure yet, most likely private and some version of some public. Forget rankings and reviews and things like that that are so manipulated. We're trying to carefully construct an algorithm that will measure for the purpose of gamification or intuition or suggestion to try better, right? To raise your personal score, your tribe score. Additionally, we're going to be building an AI companion that will take all of what Constantine is mentioning and Lydia is mentioning as well, and build the philosophy and perspective and as much intelligence, HI, what we call HI. We're very big on HI as a foundation versus AI. HI is human intelligence. Let's build human intelligence that directs artificial intelligence, right? So through the human intelligence, it would suggest to you behaviors and even gamify the behaviors so that your tribe is getting the best of you. But Constantine and all of you, Lydia, these would be great things and we would love to invite you into even a focus group or for anyone that is willing to help us continue to identify, and we'll always align it with our ethos, our mission, and our vision. But as long as it aligns and it is universally useful, then we want to get those ideas and bring them into our consideration.
Right.
And I think we'll be sending out a survey, right, Brett?
Yeah, we can put together a survey on the course that we did over the last 4 weeks, the app.
Brett,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Brett, we need to come back to this maybe a little bit next week. Let's dedicate 10 minutes to it next week. But
Okay.
I need to have Peter talk to us about how to get to the recordings and stuff like that so people could get that.
Yeah, you bet.
So the recordings are on a platform right now called Mighty Networks. I think most of you are already on that platform. If you are not, just send me an email, peter@centuity.com, or text or whatever, and I will invite you. And then once you're on, you can find them. Now, we are in the process of transitioning the platform we're on and doing some other changes that I need to work through with John. And so that will come with some additional abilities to discuss some of these topics offline after one of these workshops. So John and I will, and Max and probably Brett will be working on some of that. So, but right now, all the recordings going back over a year now are on, the site is Relate-ED. Relate is one of my products. So, and so it's living on that site. So anybody not on the site yet? Anybody not have access and want to have access? Johar, Constantine, Sakina. Okay, so do me a favor. I'm going to chat my email. Send me an email so I have your email, and I'll invite you. So let me get into the chat.
Why can't we use the TribeUp app?
Yeah, you can pull Peter up in your TribeUp and just send him an email.
Send them a chat or a WhatsApp.
Yes.
And Christian had
scan the card.
Christian had a really brilliant idea about kind of branding each conversation or naming it so that as we looked back, rather than dates, which we can't pin anything to, it's the name of the conversation, giving it its personality, like a podcast would have its name.
And maybe like a one-line description summarizing what was discussed, just for quick reference.
And Peter, if you need any help, maybe there's someone on the call that could help admin with you too. Just to
Yeah, I want to transition over to this other platform, and then that would be great. And I think Max Miller, you and I talked about getting you on there as an admin as well, because you like to pull the scripts. Now I'm starting to add something that does a summary and a transcript, and allows you to navigate the meeting by the transcript as well. And that's Fathom, and I get
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so it is pretty cool like that. So we're learning as we go.
Amazing.
You guys are amazing. Amazing.
Brett, is there a way to share everyone's, is there like, you created the tag Big Jam. Is there a way to onboard everyone here now as opposed to like trying to add them manually?
I can no, because if you open that up, you open up to spam.
Oh,
But
got it.
what I can do is I can help facilitate the Big Jam all tribing up together. Let me think through how to do that. One of our big, and I know we got to get going, so I'll just make this 5 seconds. We really want to protect you from, because we talked so much about time, we want to protect you from being inundated. At least you will have one secure, private, autonomous environment in TribeUp. And so because of that, you're going to give up the fact that you can actually bulk add people other ways, right? But there is a workaround. As long as you know each other, there's a workaround. Yeah.
Quick observation for Johar and Tech. Max just shared his link via something or other. How did you share it, Max?
Text.
And when I click on that, it actually takes me to the website, which is not synced to the app. So in other words, I'm not able to share my contact information directly with him. I have to re-enter a card. Just a tech note.
Yeah, I think we are working on those. We have like 4 or 5 different ways to get the information. So that is one of them.
Yeah.
And if you already have it, then it should say you already have it. If not, then you have to write, like Max has to write his name and email or phone number back to you.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
So the best thing, I'll tell you just a real quick tip. The best thing when you both have the app is get on a Zoom call and one of you share a QR code. Yeah, so if you share your QR code, the other person could just scan it and it's automatic and you're done. Part of the reason we created that, and we may even eliminate some of the other ways, again, is to avoid spam.
Yeah.
So you have to be face-to-face to TribeUp.
Yeah.
Video or in person. So we have made it difficult and we may make it impossible just so you have to actually know the person.
These are real connections.
They are real people.
Yeah,
and
there's
you
a
will have
face-to-face
no fake.
connection.
Yeah. All right. Well, I went over. My apologies for that, but thank you all for being so focused and intent. And John, back to you.
Okay, that's it. We will see you next week, guys. Take care. Have a great week.
Thank you, Brett. We'll see you
Thank
all
you
next
all.
week.
Congratulations, you guys. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you
Thanks,
so
guys.
much.
Thanks, guys.
Fantastic.
Bye-bye.